I'm not calling Nintendo's next hardware a Switch Pro, because for the record, we don't know what the heck it is, and I am sick of Switch Pro rumors. So for the sake of this video, we are simply calling this Nintendo's next-gen hardware. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I just wanted to get my thoughts out on what I would like to see with this new system whenever it's revealed, as well as when I think we might see it. So let's get into it. So to start things off, I just gotta address the obvious. The Switch is starting to show its age. There are games that are beginning to struggle on the Switch, and it's getting harder to squeeze out a good performance. And there are some games, and even more as time goes on, that can't even run on the Switch. And the only way that they are able to be played on Switch is through the Switch's cloud gaming feature. And depending on your internet, you may have a good experience or a bad experience. This leads me to the first big thing that I really hope that Nintendo is considering when it comes to their next-gen hardware, and that is better performance and better online service. Now, I'm not one to usually complain about graphics, but seriously, if I turn on Tears of the Kingdom on launch day, and this is what I get, we're going to have some problems, Nintendo. Also, with this new hardware, we need a better online experience. Imagine this, Nintendo releases their next-gen system, and one of the big launch games is Mario Kart 9, and they've announced a brand new battle mode feature and other features along with it that have just blown players away, and they're really excited to try them out and play against each other. And this is what they get. Error message, communication error, you fill in the blank. Now, to be fair, some games work better than others, and I just call Mario Kart out because the game has sold over 40 million and by far, from what I've seen, has the most issues online. At least that's what I've seen. If Nintendo announces a brand new Mario Kart, the least they could do is improve the experience. Not just for that, but just for all their games in general. Let's just be real. The biggest hope that I have for this new system, though, is that the games continue to be fun. I know it's cheesy, but what good is a game if it's not fun? Games are designed to entertain and to bring excitement to the people playing them. And as a wise man once said,
if it's not fun, why bother?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, for the last segment of this video, I'd like to touch on specifically why we may not have seen Nintendo's next-gen system yet. This is my personal speculation. Don't take this as, this is the reason why, this is definitely why. This is my personal speculation and my personal theory. So take this all as you will, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So to start off this segment, I'd like to turn your attention to Nintendo Switch Online. When Nintendo announced this, they said you would have to pay a subscription fee, and you would have access to online play as well as classic games, and that's where I want to draw the focus. When Nintendo announced that NES games were coming to Nintendo Switch Online, they slowly drip-fed those games out, slowly over time. And the same thing happened with the SNES games. They slowly drip-fed those games out over time. And they repeated this again with N64 games, slowly drip-fed those games out. That's where we are now, but you are now able to play so many classic games. Now let's pretend that Nintendo wants to make good on their word and give the Switch 10 years. That's how long they wanted for the Switch. They wanted the Switch to have a 10-year life cycle. So let's pretend they want to make good on their word and give the Switch 10 years. That would mean we wouldn't get the next-gen system until 2027 at the earliest. So let's pretend that for the next 4 years, Nintendo continues to drip-feed classic games. Eventually Game Boy comes out, and they drip-feed those games. Eventually GameCube comes out, they drip-feed those games. Many of the Wii's biggest titles are already here, like Skyward Sword HD, eventually Kirby's Return to Dreamland, Super Mario Galaxy with Super Mario 3D All-Stars. We're still waiting on Metroid Prime Trilogy, but who knows? But you get the point. A lot of the Wii's biggest titles are already here, and the same can be said for the Wii U ports, minus the Zelda, Twilight Princess HD, and Wind Waker HD ports, so you get the picture. If Nintendo slowly releases their classic games on NSO, then by the time they get to their next-gen system, they will not only be able to advertise it as a more powerful machine, but they will be able to say that all of Nintendo's biggest hits can now be played on one system. This would basically be the Disney Plus of Nintendo, and would turn the biggest failure on the Switch into the greatest asset for the next system. But in the end, this is my own speculation, and Nintendo could very easily do none of this. But now I turn it over to all of you. Let me know what you all want to see out of Nintendo's next-gen system. And if you're new here and you enjoyed the content for today, consider subscribing. I love to discuss all things Nintendo and would love you to be a part of the conversation. Thanks for watching, and until the next video everyone, take care.